We've got a smaller than usual dog with us for Sit Means Sit today. There's a reason for that. Dog trainer Jim Closson says a lot of people overlook training those small and toy breeds. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning.
Thanks for being with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Why are so many people shunning away, overlooking the training for small dogs in your experience?
Well, you know what, most of our clients would say they never thought the dog could get in any trouble. How much trouble could a little dog cause?
I can answer that question for you. I have an 11-pound Chihuahua mix. She's a good dog in general, but they can do stuff too.
Yeah,
right?
they can chew stuff up, and they can, get into houseplants they're not supposed to get into. But the thing that I see is when a lot of people don't train them, especially with an important command like the come command, if a dog slips out the screen door and all of a sudden is out front, doesn't know where to go, or runs into the road. And
and that's something that we had with our dog when we first moved into the house we're in now. We accidentally left the gate open a sliver one day. We saw her just, traipsing down the sidewalk. Fortunately, she was fine, but, it really opened our eyes as to what could happen. So you brought along Gigi this morning.
Yep,
she's adorable. She's, how old?
She's 3 years old.
3 years old,
Yep.
which this also ties back into something you said a couple weeks ago. You can train an old dog new tricks. How long ago did you start training?
I started training Gigi about 10 days ago.
Wow.
She was just, raised as a house dog and just a cuddle bug, sit up on the couch and cuddle with the owner and crawl in the bed with him and just be a great little house dog. But we decided, okay, well, we got to get her trained because what if the front door got left open?
Yeah.
What if the side gate got left open?
For sure. And I'm amazed at what Gigi can do after just a week and a half of training. Show us a little bit of some of the stuff
Gigi,
she's doing.
Okay, now Gigi's blind in her left eye, so when some of the tricks when I go like this, like she will know to. Here, give me a little knuckles. That's a good girl.
Yeah.
How about this? Can you wave? Can you wave? Can you speak? Can you speak? Good girl. How about can you beg? Good girl.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
And all this in 10 days.
Yep.
And it goes back to the, I'm assuming, the food reinforcement, that kind of stuff that you've talked about before.
A reward-based communication system where you're teaching the dog both body language and verbal commands, and then building and nurturing the relationship.
Yeah.
So a lot of people forget that, these dogs are here because we've brought them into our lives, and it's up to us to be responsible and teach them, show them, and educate them so that they can be enjoyed a lot more than a dog that has no training at all. Come here, Gigi.
Would you say training Gigi is different for you than training bigger dogs, or is it just the same?
Physically, I just have to bend down more, but it's the exact same.
More exercise for us humans then, right?
That's exactly it.
So
if you have a bad back, you might want to get a little bit taller dog or put him up on a table to help him. Right, Gigi?
And I also wanted to ask you, too, in the 10 days since you've done this, has Gigi gotten into less trouble around the house?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so her manners are getting a lot better. She can sit and wait for her food, and she doesn't bolt out the door anymore, and she doesn't harass the house cat who's old, and she knows what she's allowed to chew on, what things are off limits. Because little dogs, they don't know. They'll grab your eyeglass case or the remote control of the television if they're bored. And so you have to teach them what they're allowed to chew on. Give them rules.
It's an all-around improvement that you've made with Gigi here. So these are wonderful tips about the small dogs, any size dog, really. From Sit Means Sit, Jim Closson, we're so glad to have you here this morning. And Gigi, thank you for being here. Good girl. That's a good girl. Rachel, over to you.